Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Da 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 da. Now, you want this thing peaking at around 0, remember, okay? I never want to see yellow and red, okay?
So is that good?
Yeah, I guess so. This looks good, yes. Yeah. So you're hearing it? Awesome. Let's go set up the cafeteria. Jack,
Yeah.
put your headphones on. You guys understand what's going on?
Hello.
I need you too. I really need you, Jack, anyone who's got it up here. Be able to reserve stage. I won't be here. And they definitely do the same thing in the high school. You know? Yes. So we want to get Lauren. We want to get her brain filled with what happens on the YouTube screen.
Hello. Testing.
Did you know that the ABC song is based off of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star?
No.
Found it out today.
How?
Snapchat.
How on Snapchat? Oh.
A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V. I don't even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Test, test, test. I do. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y and Z. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V.
Hello.
Oh, it's gonna get it on too.
Because we have this plugged into our soundboard too. Here.
Wait, how did you set it up?
Just, they should add a Photoshop on this. What do you mean? Yeah, this has been planned for a while. Yeah, they'll know.
Okay, I just connected the speakers to it, so.
Dude, there should be an aux cord. Hello.
No, wait, no. I walk this empty street on the road of broken dreams, where the city sleeps. I still didn't know it. Dark necessities, yeah.
Do you know that's directional that way? Oh, Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yeah.
That's the best.
Bam.
My mom went and saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers in LA. They're really good.
No, they're terrible.
No, they're actually pretty bad. They're pretty bad. They're the worst. Just kidding, Carson. Just kidding. Do you not think it's like $60? What's it? There's this like Pimp My Setup show that they use this. It would be cool if you actually saw the show. You should look up swashing. Maybe like Pimp My Setups. Like they show setups and it's like a setup thing. Hey, that's the guy. That's the guy. Never mind. Put the headphones on.
I just realized that's copyright and you can't put that on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's streaming right now.
Hello, Mr. Coots. Oh, he's not even in.
Oh, who knows what this
Dude.
one is? Who knows the name of this
So,
song?
wait, hold the mic. Carson, look. Headphones on. Put the headphones on. Listen to this. Put the headphones on. This thing's messed up. No, it's messed up. Put the headphones on. Listen, look. Ready? Hello? So, like, you can hear the XLR cord. Let me listen to it first.
Do you know who it's from? It's LaGrange from ZZ Top. This wouldn't be appropriate for.
Does it matter? This isn't a rap, Carson. Oh, this song. Dude, I can put some non-copyright. If we have a file download, we can put non-copyright music and play it. Pretty close track, that's good. Oh. Look.
Wait, Glenn, what class are you in right now?
Same.
Joey,
I was.
Zach, and then
No, like who's your teacher?
oh, not sure.
Oh, was it weird when you like left and they didn't? Was it weird when you left and they didn't get to leave?
What?
Did you get when it was it weird when you left and they didn't get to leave?
Okay, yo, gotta know this song.
You gotta know this song, Gwen. Come on. Oh
Yeah, shine that in
no.
my eye.
Yeah, no, that was in my eye.
And my eye, you lift it up and it's right on.
Ah!
That's not my fault. Won't they have a glare on the screen? Wait, Mr. Dibs, do we have to have that in the camera too?
Where's my microphone?
It's right here.
I unplugged it because.
We have you wired there.
It's on.
There you go.
Hey, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay. Hey, athletes, 8th grade athletes, athletics, come down here and sit on the ground down here. 8th grade athletics. Oh, looks like actually here. 8th grade athletics can sit here too. Come on down, sit here. You guys come here. Yes, come back around. 8th grade athletics. Come and sit down here on the ground.
Did you want the girls athletes to come down?
No, 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 they're fine. This side's already filled up with kids. It's good. Okay, guys, come on. The rest of you, come on up this way. This way, guys. Go that way and go into the bleachers. Hola, amigo. Guys, this way. Go up and go into the bleachers. Come over here, go up into the bleachers. Come this way and go up into the bleachers. You see Miss Pine is waving to you.
Whether or not I can hold attention. I say 50. Small.
Compared to the high school.
I know.
From elementary, it's big to me.
They're all grown now.
Your own personal kids, you mean?
Yeah.
Mine too.
Um,
How old are yours?
high school and college.
Yep.
Senior and college.
Yep, I've got a 19 and a 22-year-old.
For them
Well, I'm young enough to do it. All right, Knights, let's get started. Voices off. Can I have your attention, please? Hello. All right. Shh, we'll wait. Thank you. All right. Well, welcome, Lake Travis Middle School Knights. We have an esteemed presenter today who has come over from the high school. This is Officer Nate Icono. He is the School Resource Officer. You'll hear them called SRO from Lake Travis High School. And he is coming in to do a presentation on cyber safety and cyberbullying. He has some really great information to share with you, and so I really want you to show him what a great audience you can be. Whenever we have a speaker, you guys always do such a great job in listening, and I want today to be no exception. So big round of applause for Officer Icono.
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. All right, this is going to be my 4th year in Lake Travis ISD, and I'm not ashamed to say it shocks me what kids do. You know, kids make bad decisions, and so what I'm here today is to talk to you. Maybe I can help you make some good decisions, okay? All you guys in 8th grade, you'll get to know me next year, as well as my partner. You can't miss her. She got long red hair. When you come to the high school, you'll get to know us. Make sure you say hello. Talk to us in the hallways. We'll do the same. So what are we here to talk about? Cyberbullying. So I need some information before we can continue. We're going to do show of hands. If you have your own cell phone and you can get on the internet and social media anytime you want, raise your hand. All right, put your hands back down. Put them back down. All right, if you have parents, I like to call them helicopter parents. They hover over you. If your parents hover over everything you do online, they're always checking what you do, and I want you to be honest with me. There is no wrong answers. Be honest. Raise your hand if your parents hover over your social media activity and monitor what you do at all times. All right, put them back down. So probably less than half of you, we'll say more than half, have unfettered access to the internet and social media. Is that correct? All right, one more question, show of hands. How many of you have seen cyberbullying on social media? How many of you have seen someone get bullied over on cyberbullying? So you guys with your hands up, you've seen it happen, right? All right, put your hands back down. A lot of you raised your hands because you see it happening with your very own eyes, right? Who are you friends with on social media? Is it the kids in your community? Is that your friends? All right, one last question before we start. One last question before we start. Raise your hand if you have bullied other kids. If you're the bully, raise your hand if you're the bully.
Test, test, test.
All right, hold on. Because now I'm totally confused. When I said how many of you have seen cyberbullying, how many hands went up? Almost everybody, right? When I ask who you're friends with, you tell me each other. But yet when I ask who the bully is, nobody raises their hand. Can anyone explain to me how that's possible? It must be all the kids from Austin ISD being the bullies, right? Nobody does it out here, right? So, guys, do you understand? I don't believe. You guys understand? I don't buy that for a second. Could it be possible the reason no one raised their hand is they don't want to admit that they bullied someone? Do you think it's possible? Are you maybe embarrassed to admit you bullied somebody? All right, so what is cyberbullying? You guys who sat up front, that's probably a bad decision. What's your name? JC? All right, JC, what is cyberbullying? So JC says it's bullying online, and that's basically as simple as it gets. Cyberbullying is just what it sounds like. You're using technology, you're using the internet, you're using your phone to bully people, right? It has taken over the #1 form of bullying. Everybody seen those movies where the bullies will pick someone up and dunk their head in the toilet? Is that what's happening? No. Cyberbullying is the way of the future, right? How does it start? Could it start with a rumor? How fast does a rumor get out of control? Immediately. Right? And when can a cyberbullying victim be targeted? Anytime, right? Anytime, any place. All right, what's the #1 thing kids do in cyberbullying? What's trolling? How many of you have trolled the internet with your friends? All right, hold on. All right, we're not going to do a show of hands, but I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to answer yourself honestly. Have you ever searched your friends' social media sites not to see what they're wearing or to tell them they look cute or to see if they had fun, but you're just looking to nitpick and find something wrong that you can put out there? Does that happen? All the time. Guys, that's trolling. All right, one more thing. They have a definition. All right, and y'all are fired up. So they have a definition for happy slapping. Who knows what that is? So I'm going to go with no one. All right, listen up. Y'all are going left on me real quick. Let's stay in the center. So, what about physical bullying? If a bully were to bully a kid by slapping him or pushing him around or knocking his books out of his hands, who sees that? The bully, the victim, and maybe 1 or 2 other people? But then can somebody film that and put it online for the whole world to see? Your physical bullying can very easily turn into cyberbullying. And that's what happy slapping falls under, right? What about photoshopping? Does anybody ever do that to their friends to embarrass them? Or do you only do it for positive purposes? Again, let's rein it back in, guys. Rein it back in. When we talk about photoshopping, has anybody ever seen it where somebody photoshops a photo for no other reason than to embarrass somebody? Guys, that's cyberbullying. Cyberbullying. All right, I'm going to quit talking until y'all quit talking. Now we're going real far left on me again. Stay in the center. All right. Rumor spreading. How does that happen? Could it happen physically, like one person tells another person? And then what happens when rumor spreading hits the internet? It's gone, right? Can you ever rein that rumor back in? No. Has anybody ever, don't raise your hand, but ask yourself, have you ever participated in the rumor spreading of somebody else? A lot of you are very forthcoming. You want to say yes. Guess what that is, guys? Cyber. Guys, that's cyberbullying. All right. Trade you? Thank you. Good to go. All right. Guys, that's cyberbullying. It starts that quick. So I want you to listen to this. No one wants to admit they're a cyberbully, right? Everyone has seen it. You're friends with everybody in the community, but nobody out here is doing it. I find that hard to believe, but I want you to listen to everything I'm about to say. Kids who are cyberbullied, kids who are the victims of bullying, more likely to use alcohol and drugs, more likely to skip certain classes. If somebody's bullying them and embarrassing them and they have math with them, are they going to want to take that math class and see their bully? No. All right? They're more likely to experience in-person bullying. Once you become known as a victim, maybe other kids start to pick on that person too. Unwilling to attend school. If somebody's being bullied all the time, do you think they want to come to school? No. All right, receive poor grades. Do you think they can focus on their studies when they're worried about being bullied and worried about being embarrassed? Have lower self-esteem. Self-esteem's a big issue at your age already. And if you're being bullied, do you think you're going to have lower or higher self-esteem? Lower. Absolutely lower. And it's going to lead to more mental health problems. I don't want to get into it, but are you guys aware that some kids have been bullied so bad that they've committed suicide? They lost their life because they were bullied. Everyone says yes, y'all are aware of it. Think of everything I just said and ask yourself this one question. Do you want to be the cause of somebody else's pain because you want to be a bully? Is that something that'll make you, will you feel good if you bully somebody? If you make fun of them for the whole world to see on Instagram or Snapchat? Is that going to make you feel good? No, but why is it happening then? Guys, it's still happening, and that's what we need to stop. All right, think about it. It's really easy. Don't be mean. Gossiping doesn't make you cool as much as you think it does. When you get to the high school and kids start to mature, their brain starts to develop a little more, you as the gossiper, you as the bully, as you grow older, you're going to be outcasted. Kids don't want to hang out with the bully. They don't want to hang out with the gossip king or the gossip queen. So you might as well start now. Why wait till later? Stop it now. If you're the victim, ignore, block, tell. One more raise your hand question. If you're being bullied, do you have the courage to come to your school, tell a teacher, a principal, a parent? Would you tell them, or would you just suffer in silence? I want you to think about that. If you are the victim of bullying, make sure you tell somebody. Start with an adult. Speak up if your friends are being bullied. If you know your friend is being bullied and they don't have it in them to speak up, speak up for them. If your friend doesn't have it in them to speak up because they're being bullied, do the right thing and speak up for them. Talk to your teacher, talk to a principal, talk to your parents. And then always, 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 when it comes to social media stuff, when it comes to online, guys, protect your information. Don't put TMI. Do not put too much information out there. A lot of you guys want to have 1 million friends on your social media sites, right? How many of you have your settings set, or how about this? Who does not have their settings set to private on their social media? So by not setting it to private, you let anybody be a friend request, right? And to be honest, you don't know if that's a 7-year-old or a 7th grade kid or a 27-year-old creepy old man, right? You really don't know. You don't. Rein it in. Rein it in. One thing I want you to take out of here with your social media, set your accounts to private. Do not let anybody into your world on social media unless you know them and you accept them as a friend. Keep everything on private so only your friends can see your accounts. All right? And then always remember this. Don't be that kid who gets suspended for saying something stupid or doing something mean to somebody else. Will the school investigate cyberbullying if you're bullying another student? Yes. Can you get in trouble if you're a cyberbully? Yes, you can. All right? So remember, you guys, don't just sit there. Report if some of your friends are being bullied. The school will look into it. You can get in trouble. And then always talk to your parents about what's going on online. I've 3 kids myself. They were all your age. Your parents are not as bad as you think. Always talk to your parents about what you're doing online. If you're having any issues online, if somebody's bullying you online, anything at all seems strange to you, or you're having problems with anyone online, guys, please talk to your parents. They are not as bad as you think. All right, so what happens when you get those, what happens when you get the rude emails, the rude, Instagram account? Someone's on Instagram making fun of you, being rude. Should you respond to that? Should you ignore it? Guys, if somebody wants to make fun of you online, don't go back and forth. Don't start this big war. Just ignore it. Go tell somebody. It's the easiest thing to do. I know you don't want to do it. If somebody's making fun of you, you're going to say something back. Guys, ignore it and report it. What if it doesn't stop? As a police officer, I'm telling you to save it. Do you know how many times I deal with this at the high school? Probably more than I should. And it's always the younger kids. It's always the freshmen, sometimes the sophomores, never the seniors. Where there's harassment, we're going to talk about that later. When there's threats, we're going to talk about that later. But all this stuff going back and forth online, guys, it has to stop. If it does happen and you ask someone to stop, you ask someone to quit making fun of you, to quit threatening you, guys, I need you to save that information, turn it into your parents, turn it into the school. Because if you come to me and say someone's threatening me online, I'm going to ask you, can I see what they're saying? And you say, I don't have anything. If you want the school, you want Miss Pine to investigate, you go to her and say, this person's harassing me. And she says, okay, let me see what they're saying. And you say, I didn't save anything. Guys, that's going to be a problem. If you're being bullied, harassed, save it. Bring it to the school. Bring it to the police, okay? And you all know you can contact your internet service provider. You can block people from your accounts. If it's a Twitter account, you know you can block people from this stuff, right? If you're receiving harassing emails, if you're receiving, social media account, you know you can block other kids, right? Make sure you're doing it. All right, we talked all about blocking everybody. Get your school involved. You are aware that your school has to investigate bullying and cyberbullying, right? Is everybody aware of that? You have to tell them they will investigate. They can't just blow you off and say you're lying, you're not being bullied. They will look into it for you. Make sure you do it. And then there's an actual cyber tip line, and that's exactly what it is, cybertipline.com. You guys are more than welcome to use it. It's just cybertipline.com. If you think there's cyberbullying going on, you're allowed to report it. And then someone will notify basically the school. They'll notify authorities if it's threatening. And you can do it completely anonymous. And it's just cybertipline.com. All right, let's talk about what's going to most affect you guys. And then I want to leave. We got 15 minutes. I need about 5 more minutes, and I'm going to leave 10 minutes for questioning. But can cyberbullying go too far and get you in trouble with the police? Is there anyone in here that thinks no? It absolutely can. And this is what's important for me to talk to you to make sure it doesn't get to that point. What if you're threatening somebody with physical harm? What if you use Instagram or even Facebook? What if you use these sites to threaten someone with physical harm? Are you cyberbullying? No, you're not. You're committing a crime. You are committing online harassment. You are threatening somebody with physical harm. You're threatened. When I see you tomorrow, I'm going to beat you up. I'm coming to your house to beat you up. You threaten to hurt somebody because you're a bully. You are committing online harassment. Guys, it's not a ticket. It's a Class B misdemeanor. It's an arrest. Does anybody feel like getting arrested because they want to threaten somebody online? Absolutely not. Online harassment is a Class B. That's the same as getting arrested for a DWI. Right? Continuing harass, and it doesn't even have to be threats. If you continuously harass somebody, you won't leave them alone after they ask you to stop. You continue to call them, to say embarrassing things, to talk down to them, to embarrass them, tell them they're fat, they're ugly. If it continues after they've asked you to stop repeatedly, guys, that can rise to the level of online harassment. I want you to think about that. It's an arrestable offense. We rarely make that arrest because we usually step in and get it to stop. But when it doesn't stop, sometimes it gets to the point where an arrest is all we have left to do because we can't get it to stop. So, anyone ever taken their friend's phone, got on their accounts, and just pretended to be them, to write embarrassing things or to say embarrassing stuff to your friend? Does that happen? All right, rein it back in. Now, I want you to think about that. If you take your close friend's phone and you embarrass her, and that's a joke between you and your close friend, that's probably going to be the end of it. But if somebody leaves their phone unprotected and you get on there and you basically purport yourself to be them, you try to make it seem like you're your friend, you're into their account, you're on their phone, and all you're doing is trying to embarrass them, guys, that's online impersonation. So we talked about harassment being a Class B misdemeanor. Online impersonation is a Class A misdemeanor. Not to mention, if you took their phone without their permission and they don't know you have it, what else is it? A theft. So now you're just opening the door to all these crimes because you want to be hopefully funny and not mean. But if you don't know someone that well and you take their phone and you try to be them online for no other reason than to embarrass them, guys, that's online impersonation, a Class A misdemeanor. It is the highest misdemeanor you can get before you hit felony. I want you to think about that for a second. That is an arrestable offense because you're pretending to be somebody online and you're trying to embarrass the heck out of them. I should never, ever in a million years have to make that arrest, right? But yet it happens. Now let's talk about the big one. What if you actually just make an account? You go on to like Instagram or Facebook. You get on social media, right? You make an account of another girl or another boy that you don't like, and you pretend to be them. You found one of their photos online. You're using it to create this new account, and now you have this account under somebody else's name. So does everybody understand? What's your name? So Robert and Nick are in the front row. If Robert were to open an account and purport himself to be Nick, using Nick's picture and then say all these embarrassing things, to do all these things to make Nick look like a fool, that's online impersonation. That is a third-degree felony. If you know nothing about the legal system, what's worse, misdemeanor or felony? Right? That's a no-brainer. Do you have a question? Oh, my bad. A felony. Now, that has been prosecuted right here in Austin. Right here. And it wasn't kids. It was a man who got divorced and he married a new woman, right? So this man has a new wife. His ex-wife is very upset about this. She goes online, she creates an account under her ex-husband's new wife's information, using her picture, her information, pretending to be her, and then just going online, causing arguments, fights, problems with other people, and saying things to embarrass her. But she did online impersonation. They prosecuted her for it. Third-degree felony. She got 3 years probation. She was put on probation for 3 years because she decided to do online impersonation. I want you to think about that. Have you guys done that? Have you ever taken someone's phone, pretended to be them to embarrass them? Does that happen? It does happen. I want you guys to keep in mind, we're getting way past cyberbullying. Rein it in. We're going way past cyberbullying to actual crimes. I file a harassment report probably once a month at the high school, and it seems like it's always the freshmen because they just haven't matured yet. So I'm wondering how you guys are going to be next year when you come to the school. All right. I want to save 10 minutes for questions, so the last thing I'm going to tell you, ask yourself one question when it comes to getting online and saying things to other kids. Ask yourself one and only one question. If my parents saw what I was writing, if my parents saw what I was saying, would they be okay with it? If the answer is no, what should you do? Don't do it. That's it. All right, I saved 10 minutes. This is the time that I have for any questions about anything we talked about or any questions at all. I want you to remember everything I said about cyberbullying and how it makes other people feel. And then I want you to remember you can cross the line and actually commit crimes. All right, what's your name? Brody. Go ahead, Brody. If you're doing it without their permission for no other reason than to embarrass and annoy them, then yes, that's online impersonation. Now, if you're doing, now let's say, I need you to understand the difference. So, you pretend to be somebody else, that's online impersonation. But what you're talking about is maybe making fun of somebody. So, who's Kim Kardashian? What is she famous for? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. Rein it in. Rein it in. So there's pages out there, I hate Kim Kardashian, and they put all the dumb things she does, right? And they make fun of her by saying, look what she did. They're not pretending to be her. They're saying, I hate Kim Kardashian. That is a bona fide website, right? I hate Kim Kardashian. You might see it on Twitter, I hate Kim Kardashian. That's not the same as online impersonation. Are they pretending to be Kim Kardashian? Or are they saying, I hate this person? Right, so that's where people can do stuff where it's out in the public and they're just putting stuff on there. Now, if they were just to go on to Kim Kardashian's site and threaten her, they're committing crimes. But there's a big difference between online impersonation and just saying, look at what this person's doing, kind of making fun of them. But if you cross a line, you could move from cyberbullying. If you're on I hate Kim Kardashian and you write, I believe she's fat, you're cyberbullying. You're not threatening her, right? If you're posting rumors about someone, it's cyberbullying, yes. Have you crossed the line to where you've committed a crime by spreading rumors? No. The law states if you're doing it solely with the intent to embarrass, annoy, harass somebody, or threaten somebody, that's crossing the line. So if your sole intent is for no other reason than to embarrass somebody, no other reason to harass, annoy, or threaten somebody, you're crossing the line. Oh, he asked me what's crossing the line. if he can make up a site for one of his friends, and if that's crossing the line, if he's just being ironic, but ironic is just being bully. Does that make sense? No, I didn't say you were doing it. Go ahead. So, did we watch the presidential elections? Was there some bullying going on there with people saying nasty things? So, I'm not saying that this. So, he asked about, this happening on media. The media actually does this, and you can't disagree. Bullying is not related strictly to children. Bullying happens not only with adults, but every level of our society. And how ugly was that, with all the people saying all the ugly things? Was that nasty? It's bullying through the media, absolutely. People saying those things about other people. And that's what bullying is. That's what cyberbullying is. Do not be part of that. Go ahead. So the question is, can you cyberbully your brother or your sister? The answer is yes, but to be totally honest, I'm going to answer this 100% honest. I would think if it's two sisters not getting along or two brothers, I would hope that that would be handled by the parents and never come to the desk of Mrs. Pine or never come to my desk. But you may have a younger sister that other kids pick on, and you might chime in and start picking on your younger sister. Even though you're related, that's still bullying, guys. You should be sticking up for your sibling, not piling on. All right, go ahead. All right, hey, hold up. Hold it up. Hold on. Guys, zip it. So she asked if I've ever made an arrest for cyberbullying, and the answer is no, and I'm going to be honest with you. Cyberbullying is not illegal. It will be dealt with by the school, and you will get school consequences, right, if you bully another kid. When you cross the line from cyberbullying to harassment, because it won't stop because you're threatening physical harm, when you cross the line to online impersonation, online harassment, then yes, I have made those arrests. Not that often, but I have made it. If it's just bullying, you're telling someone that they're overweight, that they should be embarrassed, they're ugly, you're just trying to hurt their self-esteem. You're never going to come to me for that. It's not illegal, but you will answer to the school. How many's in athletics? My goodness. I wasn't expecting that many. Do y'all sign a code of conduct? All right, zip it. Do you guys sign a code of conduct in middle school if you want to be part of athletics? And I'm going to tell you right now, you sign a code of conduct if you want to be in athletics at the high school. Do you think you can stay in athletics if you're a bully or a cyberbully? Absolutely not. There was somebody over here. Did somebody over here have a question? Go ahead. Yell it. So he asked, how do you save the photos on Snapchat if you're because Snapchat's going to disappear after 8-10 seconds. How do you save it? Screenshot. Let me ask you one more question. Rein it in. Snapchat disappears after 8 or 10 seconds. Is it truly gone, or can we as police officers find it? For me to write a subpoena, I can write a subpoena to get information. I would say it takes me no more than 5 or 6 minutes to write a subpoena because it's mostly just a pre-filled form. I just got to write in why I want this information. I'm going to get a grand jury to sign a subpoena, and we're going to send it into Snapchat and say we want all this information. What you think is gone or erased, I promise you, is not. A subpoena will take me 5 minutes to recover that information. Once the grand jury signs my paperwork, I'm going to have that info. Go ahead, young lady. Seldom, once or twice. Once or twice. Like she asked, how many times have I arrested somebody for online harassment? Once or twice, because we will step in, the school and myself, we will mediate and say this needs to stop. You cannot, what's your name? Clara, and who's next to you? So we'll step in and say, Clara, stop threatening Amanda. If this keeps going, you can get yourself in trouble. We'll call your parents and say, your daughter keeps threatening. She keeps threatening her. It's harassment. If it doesn't stop, and we've done everything we can to mediate, we do not like arresting kids, but if it absolutely will not stop, you're going to push our hand. You're going to leave us no choice. And if the victim wants to file charges, at that point, we have to step in and do something. Go ahead. So she asked if you use your picture but you put a different name on it, is that impersonating? Not exactly. You're not pretending, you're just making up a name because you think it's fun. Why would you want a fake account? Maybe to seem older than you are? So if you're creating an account and you're just using a fake name, maybe a lot of you want to put a fake date of birth and seem older than you are. I know it happens. If you're not creating that account with the sole intention to annoy, embarrass, harass somebody, then it's not illegal. Does that make sense? So if you don't like someone and you purposely make an account under their name and the only reason you're doing it is the sole intention to embarrass them, that's a problem. If you're just using a different name and then you put in an older date of birth, you're not purporting to be somebody else. Make sense? Go ahead. She asked if there's ever been cases when parents bully students. I haven't come across that. Now, what we have come across is, let's say two kids in school aren't getting along, right? Two girls aren't getting along, and a parent steps in and starts threatening the other girl. Well, that's going to be harassment. You're threatening her online. So it's not bullying, but yes, that has happened where parents have threatened young children trying to stick up for their daughter. That's not very mature of the parents to do, but it happens. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes. Hey, rein it in. Can't hear. Sexting. Sexting is a big issue. That is nothing to be proud of. All right, zip it. Rein it in. Now, boys do it, but girls, look at me. I want to see eye contact from every girl in this room. Girls, never, ever, ever send out a naked photo of yourself to somebody. I'm going to let you in on a secret right now. Your boyfriend in middle school or high school, or your girlfriend, most likely is not going to be your husband or wife. There will come a time where you're probably going to break up. How do you get that picture back once you've sent it? You don't. That picture is out there. It is gone. Now, a little girl sends a little boy a picture of herself naked, sexting. Who's going to get in trouble? Both. Both. So listen up. Listen up. If you're a girl and you send a naked picture to a boy and you receive it as a boy and you immediately delete it, you've done nothing wrong. I understand you received a photo. It is sexting. It's a Class C misdemeanor. But if you immediately delete it, nothing wrong, right? Same thing. A boy sends it to a girl, immediately deletes it. Now, here's where sexting can get you in a lot of trouble. I don't want to use examples, but let's say Jane Doe is going out with Johnny. Jane sends Johnny a nude picture of herself, and then Jane decides she likes Billy better than Johnny. So she dumps him and she starts dating the other boy. What does Johnny have? Do you think he might be mad at her? All right, rein it in. If Johnny decides to start sending that naked picture out to all his friends because he's mad at his ex-girlfriend for dumping him and moving on, so now he wants to embarrass her, and he's going to send that naked picture to all his friends, he's just committed a Class B misdemeanor sexting, right? That's not a ticket anymore. That's a go-to-jail arrest. Same as a DWI, same as harassment. If you take that picture and you send it out to embarrass her, that's not receiving a picture from a girl. That's just a Class C ticket. She sent you a naked photo, you received it, you committed a Class C misdemeanor by holding on to it. If you're mad and you send it out for the whole world to see, you've just committed a Class B misdemeanor. If the girl wants to press charges on you, and there's a good chance she will, since you embarrassed her like that, you're going to get arrested. And it goes vice versa. If a boy sent a naked photo to a girl, then he breaks up with her and she sends it out for the world to see to embarrass him, she can get herself in trouble. Everybody understand those laws on sexting? All right, zip it. Rein it in. Y'all are a talkative bunch. Go ahead. So up until 3-4 years ago, it was child pornography if you were underage. The state legislators started seeing little kids in 8th grade get hit with felony possession of child pornography. You could register as a sex offender for that. So what they did is they created the sexting law to make it just a ticket. Now, if you're 14, 15 years old and you're sending naked pictures to a 22, 23-year-old man, that's child pornography on the adult male. Does that make sense? If you're in the 8th grade and you send a naked picture of yourself to an 8th grade boy, you committed the offense of sexting. If you send that naked picture to a 22-year-old boy, you've still committed the offense of sexting, but he's an adult male and he's not within 3 years of the same age as you. That makes it child pornography on his end. But up until 4 years ago, an 8th grader sending another 8th grader nude photos was child pornography. The state legislators finally stepped in and said, this is absurd. We're hitting 8th graders with sex offender registry for sending a naked picture of themselves. They changed it to sexting. But that's only if you're within 3 years of each other. You're in 8th grade, 14 years old, and you send it to an adult male. He's in possession of child pornography. So when it's interstate, like if people are threatening her, like they hate her guts and they want to kill her, so they're crossing state lines. So let's say somebody in New York hates her and they're threatening her with death and she lives in California. Guess who can take over those cases? FBI. Somebody said it. FBI will investigate that. Go ahead, young man. Hey, zip it. You're going to have to yell, kiddo. Go ahead. He asked, how many cases of cyberbullying have I seen this year? The school handles most of it. What makes it to my desk when it crosses a line? Maybe one a month. So January, I probably had about 6 or 7. The school deals with this on maybe a weekly basis. For it to cross a line with the threats coming to my desk, the online impersonation, maybe once a month. Next question. You got to yell, kiddo. Because the 6th graders are in the cafeteria watching it on video. He asked why it's being recorded. Only the 7th and 8th graders are in here. The 6th graders have to watch. Rein it in, guys. Rein it in. All right, that's enough. Go ahead. Shh. Guys. You're going to have to yell, kiddo. So he's asking if it's on Snapchat where it automatically disappears, is it still illegal? And the answer is yes. If you send a naked photo, even if, like if a boy asks you, send me a naked photo, and you send it, and then he sends you one back, it's completely consensual, right? It's still illegal, guys. You cannot send naked photos, period. And like I said before, even if it's on Snapchat and it disappears in 8 seconds, trust me when I say it's there forever. We can always find it. It is not gone. Let me go over here. Girls in the corner, go ahead. All right, you're going to have to be real quiet because they're far away. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Yeah, scream, yell it. So she asked if somebody sent a message, talked online, that they were going to blow up a place you were going to. Like they find out you're coming to the Lake Travis Middle School basketball game, and they threaten to blow it up. Now we've gone way past bullying. We've gone to terroristic threat. You make threats like that, you're getting arrested. Everybody clear? Yeah, making threats of harm or blowing up a building, or those are taken very serious, guys. Those threats, you will be arrested. All right, lock it down. Lock it down. Yes, she's asking if anybody ever made a fake profile for the sole purpose to bully somebody else because they don't want to get caught being a bully, right? Guys, I talked to you earlier about a subpoena. It's a piece of paper. I will get that IP address. It's going to come back to somewhere. And you may think you're anonymous. You may think you're doing something without people knowing. We're going to find out who created the count, and we're going to come after you. All right, go ahead, young lady. Do I do what? Are you talking about like presentations to kids? Are you asking like what I do in my daily job? My daily job is not cyberbullying or bullying. I basically am a police officer at the high school. So my day consists of a lot of traffic accidents in the parking lot, right? Kids that just get their license. I make arrests at school, but not for cyberbullying. I mean, we have a lot of things like theft, people who steal from other people, criminal mischief, people who damage other people's property or school property. I deal with graffiti. What do you think I make a lot of arrests for? It is a shame that y'all know that right out the gate. It is a shame. It is a shame. Guys, I came straight here from jail. Do y'all understand that? We're talking about cyberbullying, and that's a very important issue to me. On a side note, guys, you got your whole life ahead of you. Lay off the drugs and alcohol. When you turn 21, if you want to drink and you live to be 91, that's 70 years of drinking. You do not need to do it at this age. Lay off the drugs. And guess what we have at the high school? A drug dog. And she does her job, guys. It's almost 40 after. All right, I got time for one more question. Last question, guys. Go ahead. The youngest age of cyberbullying starts in elementary school. What age can you get arrested in Texas? 10. You commit a crime at age 10 or older, you will get arrested. All right, real quick, did y'all learn something from this? That's all I ask. Next time you decide to be a bully online, think twice. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, guys. Is it on? It's on. Okay, guys, listen up. Shh, wait. We're not leaving yet. Shh. Listen up. So I know y'all gave him a great round of applause. He is okay. Shh. He is the SRO at the high school, and you will be seeing him as you move up there. So one of the things that happened today, I know it's been crowded in here today. You have been quite talkative, but we have a lot of people in here, and I understand that. We have been simulcasting to the 6th grade in the cafeteria. In the cafeteria, you could hear a pin drop. In here, y'all were responding a lot, and we appreciate that, and you were listening well. We will try to use the simulcasting because we've obviously outgrown some of our spaces, so we're experimenting with new ways. We were going to use the screen. We had a PowerPoint. The lamp burned out right before y'all came in or was close to burning out. So things changed today, and we adjusted, and we were flexible. Cyberbullying and everything that the SRO has talked about today is very important, and it happens here every day. It's very serious. There will be very strong consequences for any of the things he's talked about. We do not want you to get in trouble. We want you to make great choices. You hear us say that all the time. We want you to do the right thing and to move forward in your life doing well. Think about what he said today. We're going to start dismissing in just a minute. Let's give another great round of applause for our SRO at the high school. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Shh. These guys that are on the floor over here will be dismissed first. Miss Sparks, will you dismiss that section over there? The far section over there, Mr. Yaley, that section is dismissed.